explosion-proof spotlight with trunnion that is 12 volt direct current. The tools you would need is an impact driver with a 1/2 inch, a drill, a 1/4 inch tapping tool, 1164 drill bit, 1032 tapping tool, an Allen head set, a number 3 Allen head, a 3/8 wrench, a 1/2 inch socket, cutters, Phillips head screwdriver, strippers, and a measuring tool, which I'm using a micrometer today. To start out, we'll take our Larson spotlight and remove the parts that we need to make it explosion proof. Using your number 3 T-handle Allen head, you remove your screws. Four screws in the top right here. Remove that part. Using your T-handle, you can get your seal and your lens out. Reflector falls. Inside, you have 4 screws that we will be removing. Remove all 4 screws. You have 2 wires here that you need to snip out. Using a pair of small snippers, we cut the wires. Tilt your LED board out, like so. Turning on your solder machine, you get your solder board ready, your solder wire. Make sure that you have a wet sponge. While that's heating up, you take your big snips, cut as close as you can to the Deutsch end of the plug. Sometimes you can pull the wires right out of the sheathing. This time we can't. Thank you, sir. So without cutting the wire, cut between it so you can remove your wire from the sheathing. Once your wire is removed, go ahead and snip your ends. Using your wire strippers, you strip back just a little bit on the end. Once your solder machine is heated up, clean off your end. Using a little bit of solder, put some on the tip, and remove the old wire. You have a little bit of plastic stuck on here. Go ahead and remove that. Remove the other wire. Again, a little bit of solder. That helps take the old solder off, but just quicker. Using your solder tip, place a little bit of solder on there. And you can wick out your ends. Go ahead and do the other wire. Once you have both your wires set up, we go ahead and pull up our spot to solder on. Checking the solder, make sure it's good. I like to, once I have both wires soldered on, I like to give it a little squeeze. That'll get every chance for it to break, which they're not, so we're good. Cut your wire evenly. Like so. So give them a little twist so they go into the 12 volt DC P-bidder. Go ahead and turn off your machine. I like to make sure that it's nice and even all the way around on the spacer. Go ahead and make our marks for our screws. Using a 1/8 drill bit and an 8/32 tap to fit our screws here. We'll go ahead and drill and tap. Like always, I want to get a measurement of my screws. I like to use a piece of tape because that gives a barrier that moves if you go too deep. Like so. Put in your drill. Go to the center of your mark. Proceed your drilling. Reversing out. Move on to the next hole. Reverse out. Move on to your next hole. Move on to your last mark. Taking your bit out, set it to the side, get your tap, tighten it down, like always. Here's you some tap magic. Once it reaches its spot, it will stop. Slowly remove it. Move to the next one. Add tap magic. Hit a stop. Add some more tap magic. Move on to your last one. Hit a stop. Move your bit. Using a towel, clean off your puck. Let's go ahead and check our screws. Fit perfectly. I just like to test each drill point because this will be inside of an enclosure. It's easier to do outside your checking than have a failure of tapping inside the enclosure. Check the last one. We'll remove our HKB GL. Put your box aside. Remove your lid. Set your lid and ring to the side. Remove your paperwork. And we'll drill out the center of our housing. Using a marker. We'll mark our spot for the center to be drilled and tapped. Using your 1164 bit, we'll drop our screw inside here, and we'll get our measurement for the screw. Making sure that your micrometer is on, zeroed out. .2135. Making sure it matches your measurement. We'll go ahead and put our tape on. Making sure that your bit is right where you want it. Start your drilling. Once it hits your tape, you reverse out. We'll go ahead and match it up one more time. Go ahead and reverse out. Using a 1032 tapping tool, some tap magic. Once it stops, reverse out. And then we'll clean up our enclosure. add my heat transferring paste. Just a little bit of do-you. Puck inside. Drop your screw. Using your 5/32 Allen head, go ahead and tighten our spacer down so it does not move anymore. Once you have that down, I like to gather up my wires together, feed it through 3/4 inch opening in the housing, line the holes up, go ahead and put our screws in. Let's go ahead and go to the grinder or the sander and cut this little bitty lip off right here so the lid will sit flat and secure to this part right here. Start the sander, start button. It's now flat. We go ahead to the installation. Once you have cleaned off all the debris off your lens, go ahead and apply it inside the housing. Put your lid on. It's gonna work right there. Once your lid is secured, we can go ahead and tighten down your lid. Using a 3/32 Allen head, tighten your set screw down, but not too tight, or the set screw will snap. We're gonna go ahead and test it while we're doing our trunnion. On 12 volt, red is your positive. So plug it up to the red, the positive side. Black is your neutral. Plug it up. We'll move on to our trunnion. Go ahead and start by removing the label. Using a little bit of lighter fluid, that takes the label sticker right off. After all your stickers are removed, you gather your hardware. I like to go ahead and get it all out. Put it on the bag. Put a washer on. Washer on that. And get hand tight. Move on the next side. Get hand tight. Using your impact, the 1/2 inch socket. Go ahead and tighten it down. Same as the other one. Put a washer on both sides. Should nylon nut. On both of them. Using a socket to hold one side. Tighten it down. Both sides. This part right here, you would have to use a 1/4 inch tap. Using a little bit of tap magic. Just tap right about there. Slowly back it out. Move on to the other side. Top there. Clean off any debris. Slide your washer on. Put in hand tight. Same as the other side. Put your washer on. Using a 3/16 Allen head. Go ahead and tighten it down. And on the other side, same thing. Tighten it down. Remove it from the DCP. Set it down. Drop your washer on. Push it through. Drop another washer. Your nylon nut. Another washer. Your nylon nut. Using a 5/32 Allen head and a 3/8 wrench. Tighten it down. There's tight. Flip it over to the other side. Do the same thing. Move on to labeling. Get your packing slip and the labels that Andrew brings you. You match up. Make sure it is exactly what it says on the part. Sure it's secure. Put a little bit of Larson logo on a few places. Always put it on right here in the corner. Getting your label maker. We're going to put 12-volt plus for the positive wire, DC for direct current, give about 8 spaces, 12-volt plus DC. Hit print. Throw prints out. There's a gray button here on the side. And put it on the positive side, which is the red of your wire. Same thing for the other wire. For this side, we'll put the minus. And print it out. Fold it in half. Put on your black wire. And your final labels will be your personalized sticker. Mine's A11. I'll put it on the back of the housing trunnion. We'll plug it up and call quality control over to your area. Can I have a video in the conference room, please? After quality control has videoed your light, you can go ahead, clean it up, and take it over to the QC booth. And that's how you make a flood with explosion-proof enclosure.